If you cannot adapt to your trash teammates, you are no better than them.
I feel like I just deserve at least one higher rank.
Support players are so whiny. Please, for the love of God, be quiet.
Welcome back to Overthink, the game show where I ask contestants a series of Overwatch hot takes to see where they stand. Feel free to play along in the comments to let me know what your opinions are on these hot takes. And if you'd like to actually be on an episode, go ahead and sign up in my Discord. I host these live on my Twitch channel most Sundays, so please go follow me on there to catch a show live. And lastly, please don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more content like this. Real quick before we start the video, I just want to tell you guys about something exciting I'm doing that I think that you might like too. If you like Overwatch, Minecraft, and games like Jackbox, listen up. I'm getting ready to host my semi-annual team event. People who sign up will be split into 3 teams that'll be battling for points through multiple ways, such as Overwatch pickup games, Minecraft village building competitions, Jackbox community games, and even an Overwatch tournament too. There's also other fun ways to get points for your team if you're not really feeling the gaming, as we have weekly challenges that you can work on with your teammates to earn points. If this wasn't fun enough, we also have items that you could use to buff up your teammates or yourself, and even items that could debuff enemy teams and players. I'm even going to host special game shows like Overthink and Imposter Watch specifically just for the event participants to join. I'm genuinely really excited for this event. It's always a blast and a great way for participants to make friends and meet new people. Best of all, there is zero commitment. So if you join but decide you don't want to anymore or don't have the time to participate, that's totally okay too. If any of this interests you, you could check out more information in my Discord server and join a team there. Anyways, enough yapping from me, let's head straight to the video. Platinum players often have an ego that don't match their skill level. All right, we're already off to a pretty split start. I feel like most of the people are on the agree side of the spectrum. We have 2 people in agree, 3 people in somewhat agree, 1 person in neutral. JTIC, are you sure you want to use your neutral already?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, it's gonna be hell for you later on, but you know what? That's fine. That's more enjoyable for us. And then we have 2 people in the somewhat disagree.
I'm very much agreeing. So many lobbies that I'm in, people have such like an ego. They're like, they refuse to take accountability when it's their fault. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I never do that, but I like to think that I'm pretty good about it and I can realize when I'm sucking ass.
I often am being faced with people telling me what to do when they have no authority to actually be telling me what to do due to their performance in the game. And I try my best not to, tell people what they should do or who they should play. And I mean, if it's obvious that they shouldn't be playing, Widowmaker into Genji, Doomfist, Sombra, and they continue to play it and they admit that it's not their fault when they're going 1 to 16. Yeah, I do agree that Plat players do have an ego.
I say somewhat agree because it doesn't necessarily pertain to everyone in Plat, but like I feel like the rank of Plat is like, with it being between Diamond and Gold, like you can see very stark differences in skill levels between certain people on your team. So like, I'll have like one person who's kind of carrying, but then like another person who's kind of dragging us behind like one game as opposed to the other. So I do kind of feel like some people who might be in Plat maybe not deserve that rank, but they very much so act like they do. And in reality, I don't think so, at least in my opinion.
The pool of platinum players is so large. I think it is incredibly difficult to gauge if most of the players in Plat are actually egotistical, and also sometimes they might just be having a bad day and so they get a bit mad. Like, there's too many factors in play with such a large pool that is the platinum player base that I think it's impossible to gauge if they're egotistical or not.
I kind of agree with JTIC here. Like, the player base, especially since Season 9, since all the rank shenanigans that have been happening, it's so very, like, there's people that even, I've been seeing recently people that even come from Masters in Season 8, people that come from Gold, people that come from Old Diamond, people that have been hard stuck in Plat for months. There's so many people in Plat, to the point where it really depends on the match and the people you encounter to say if they have an ego or not. Like, and also, I'm not really the guy to flame or time much in chat. Like, I mean, I am a chunk rock player. I get what I have and I work with what I have. Like, if you want to go live with Mercy in my backline, okay, I'll work with that. And if I don't succeed, then it's my fault because I could have always hit more shots. Like, that's basically my philosophy in all of this. And I think ego just depends on whoever you find in the matches. You can find really nice people and you can find really horrible people. That's just life.
Is there anybody that after hearing other people speak would like to change their stance? All right, Farah, why'd you swap?
I think it's more just a vocal minority in the group where a lot of the people are like really harsh and demanding, or some of the people, but most of them are very like quiet. Or I've met a lot of nice people in Plat, but it's just the very vocal minority that's very egotistical that ruins it.
I mostly play on EU, so my voicing experiences are pretty limited because the whole entire region doesn't speak. I believe the egos are in every rank, and you're gonna have people just screaming at you no matter what. You have egos in bronze, silver, going up all the way to GM. There's no difference. The rank isn't the defining factor of where the egotistical people are. It's everywhere.
Elo hell is real. Cool. So we have 2 people in agree. We have 1 person in somewhat agree. We have 1 person in neutral, 2 people in somewhat disagree, and 2 people in disagree.
So back when I started this game in Overwatch 1, Season 9, I placed bronze and I worked my way up to gold. And right when I got to gold and plat, it started to slow down a little bit. But eventually I got to diamond in Overwatch 1 and just fell back down to plat, and plat has been my resting point ever since. But I feel like there are a lot of games where I put in a lot of work and shows in the stats. I feel like stats tell a lot of how I played, and I feel like Elo hell is real because I personally don't think I deserve masters or GM or anything, but definitely not plat, maybe like diamond. You know?
Elo hell, I would call more so like just poor matchmaking, because I've had really good games as like support, but then lately as like tank, no matter how well I do or my team does, I feel like it's always like a loss or a streak of losses between every 1 win, you know? So more so that the matchmaking recently, if not since Overwatch started, has been like not the best with like balancing if you've been playing for a long time.
I feel like that it's pretty 50-50 because sometimes you can just have days where you go on a losing streak, days where you go on a winning streak, days where you just completely alternate, you know, between winning and losing, and you know, it's not really your fault, or you know, you're putting your best effort in. And there can also be other times when you are the problem and you are not putting in as much effort as you can, or you are not swapping, or you know, it's just your problem that you are losing the games that you are losing when you could be doing much better than you could. So yeah, it really just depends on the player and how lucky or unlucky they're getting.
As much as I want to say like, oh, it's not my fault that I'm at whatever rank, I really just have to admit that for the most part it's a skill issue. And about the whole like stats thing, the stats don't say everything. Like yesterday I had a game on Sombra where I went like 7-4, so I didn't have many kills, but I was just putting so much pressure on their backline that they weren't able to heal their tank properly. So stats aren't everything. It's kind of my fault that I'm at this rank, TBH.
I believe the Elo hell is a feeling of other people who believe that they can't climb, which is, I would say, pretty valid. It tends to indicate that you're missing something, you're not seeing something in your gameplay that you could improve, and in that case you should get a third point of view of somebody who isn't biased, like an actual coach that can look for you. In the Overwatch community there's a tons of coaches that literally coach people for free, and I had an opportunity to be coached by some good people. Shout out to Lilybad, one of them, and I improved going from gold 2 to plat 4 within a couple of games.
After hearing everybody speak, is there anybody who would like to change their stance? Okay, so we have somebody going from agree to somewhat agree, and we have somebody going from somewhat agree to somewhat disagree. So an overall shift towards the opinion of Elo hell doesn't exist. So do y'all want to explain why you moved?
So the way I see it is that like plat is such a weird rank. Like it's like, I almost feel like plat isn't real. Like plat is not a real rank. Like if you're in plat, it's because you either deserve gold or you deserve diamond, but for some reason you're in plat. So that's like where I'm kind of like more on the agree side. But I can say that like, you know, maybe there are like certain moments in the game where I'll make a mistake and I'm like, if I just did this the right way, the payload could be pushed more, or we might have another point. Like I should have saved that Suzu, or I shouldn't have peeked that corner. So I will say like, I kind of agree with Fresh where, you know, they're saying that truly it's a skill issue. So I will, you know, be humble and say that I do see there moments in my gameplay where I can agree with that. But I also feel like with me also thinking like plat is not real, I feel like the teammates I have sometimes just don't do what they're supposed to do, and my lobbies feel like hell.
I have a pretty similar reason for changing, that it's more like there are plenty of times where I can be like, yeah, I messed up there, or with like my duo of like, man, we should have done this instead. But there are also times where like it's clearly matchmaking and we're being paired up with a way higher elo or something like that, and it's out of our control.
My teammates often hold me back. We have no agrees, which is really surprising. We have 2 people in somewhat agree, 1 person in neutral, 3 people in somewhat disagree, and 2 people in disagree.
Majority of the time, I don't feel like it's my teammates. It's just I have one-off games that you can tell that it's one of your teammates. Majority of the time, I don't look what my teammates do. I just look at the general, how the game plays, and can I go on and off like by myself, or can I join my team with it? But there were sometimes games that you can tell that something is wrong and it's one person holding you down.
I don't know if it's something in the like Overwatch matchmaking water, but like this past 2 weeks, I've just been getting really bad teammates. And like I said, like I can be humble and like say when it's my fault, but like just recently at least, I just feel like my teammates have just not been up to par. Like I don't know, but I'm not fully agreeing because it's not all the time. It's mostly just been like more recently, but yeah, it's not all the time, but it's definitely there. It's definitely there. I think this like past season 10, because of I almost think it's because of the rank reset. I don't know. I don't want to like say anything, but I don't know like how to explain it, but truly, I just been getting some really bad, like, well, any role actually, really bad, anyone in any role. I've just had instances that I can remember that I've just like, you are negative, or you have only 2,000 heals and it's the end of the game, or you have like 4 kills. Please get out my lobby.
Yeah, so upon hearing Eclipse talk, maybe I should have went in slightly agree, but my thought process was just, I feel like it happens like it's 50-50. So 50% of the time, I feel like some of my teammates can definitely be dragging me down. But then the other 50%, I try to look back and I'm like, yeah, I definitely did not perform. But I do still, I'm like, it's like racing between my head because I did say, yes, I do believe in Elo Hell and I do think I'm an Elo Hell, but I don't want to blame my team the entire time. I think I just blame Blizzard as a whole. That's usually what I do.
I went into somewhat disagree because there are plenty of times where I can look back and say what I did wrong, or like maybe I could have said, like told my teammates like maybe we should try this instead of being quiet. But other times it's just, teams don't work out. It's no one's fault really. Like even if you try to switch it up, your chemistry doesn't work, or the heroes you can play well don't go mesh together, and kind of just ruins it, I'll be honest.
So I like to say that I personally don't believe that my teammates hold me back. I feel like that it is my fault that I lose the majority of my games. Sometimes obviously you get teammates who are just, continuing to stagger and, just feed in your games. But when I, self-reflect on myself, throughout the game or at the end of the game, and I realize that I did not, do the job that I was supposed to do the entire time, I feel like that it is my fault and I have to perform better to, get out of platinum.
I'm going to start off by saying, if you truly believe that other people are the reason you are in the rank you are as wrong as a fox in boots, let me tell you. With how many players there are in particularly platinum, you're bound to get like the person who just got off their 9 to 5, who just really wants to be petty and decides to throw a game. Of course, that's going to happen. That's impossible to not have. But with the way I would say most characters are designed, you can carry on your own. Even someone like Lifeweaver, you can 100% carry. Even you have to baby these children, but you can do it. And I am so tired of hearing people constantly talk about how, oh, it's my teammate's fault. Oh no, shut up, please.
I want to add to that even if my teammates ain't doing the best or having the best day, because, in PLAT there's a little bit of everything. If one of my teammates is lacking off a bit, then if they cannot make something happen, I will. If I have to fly into the backline or return someone's head, I will do it. If I had to hunt Squishy like it's open season, but I am the hawk falling from the sky, I will do it. And if I don't get to do that, if I don't do it well, then it's my fault because I missed the shot. Then it's my fault because I got flapped out of the tire. But I will try. If I fail, it's my fault. It's not my teammate's fault, and it will never will. That's the spirit I will take, and that's my stance on that for now and forever.
Would you say that people that blame their teammates or think that their teammates hold them back, would you call that a skill issue?
Yes, I would 100% call that a skill issue. If you cannot adapt to your trash teammates, you are no better than them.
Let me bring this question on over to our Ash and Widowmaker, who are on the somewhat agree side of the spectrum. What do you guys have to say in response to JTIC essentially saying that your take is a skill issue?
Only thing I will say, as I definitely hear what Lucy and JTIC are saying 100%, and most of it does make sense. The only thing I'm going to say to that is it is a team game, and I feel like part of a team is everyone knowing where they're needed and everyone pulling their weight. So like if now one person's not pulling their weight, you can't expect a DPS to pick up where a support is lacking, or like vice versa for like a tank and DPS or support and a tank. So if that person's not doing anything, you can't always fill in for them. And kudos to you if you find a way to, but that's not always possible with the character's skill set. So that is where I will disagree with what you guys are saying, but not terribly disagree, because I do hear what you guys are saying. But that is what I would say. In a team game, everyone, it's a team. Everyone has to do what they're supposed to do to help the team get the win. And if you're not doing it, then I truly think it is your fault.
If there is a will to win, there is a way. It does not matter if you have to swap. It does not matter if you have to do some stupid bullcrap strategy. If there's a will, there's a way to win. No matter how bad your tank may be, go tank buster. No matter how trash your supports might be, go self-sufficient character. I know swapping is a kind of annoying and weird built-in thing into this game, but still, it's there. It's an option. Take it. If there's a will, there's a way.
You mentioned that one person can carry a game, and I absolutely disagree with that. There's a reason that once a person leaves a game, it's literally unwinnable, and I feel like everyone would, or most people would agree with that. You just can't win with 4 people. When someone's carrying a game, like for example, a Genji, cracked Genji's carrying a game, they also have the help of healers. Like maybe they're not doing an amazing job, but they're doing something. They have the help of the tank. Maybe they're not doing an amazing job, but they're doing something. So you can't just, it's impossible for one person to single-handedly carry when, let's just say, their team's not synergized with them at all.
You're saying it's impossible to carry a game, but I say it is possible to carry to the point you make an opening to the rest of your team. Like, maybe it's a thing about my character, and maybe other characters are not true because I don't know about every character in this game. But if you can make their backline or their squishy's life impossible because you're half flanking the whole time, your team is gonna have to win the 1v4 at some point. Like, if I have to be half flanking the whole game, playing Dead by Daylight with their backline or DPS, I will do it. Just give me the gun, let me execute that, and you guys just chill with the tank and fight him. I'm down. Like, I'm not giving up. I am full believer of the indomitable Junkrat spirit going on, and I am not giving up. I've seen games won with 1 lever, and as long as it's a possibility, it's doable. And it will never not be doable until I'm out of the game and I have seen the defeat screen. And when that's done, I will be, I could have done something where I could have hit that air shot on Diana. But until then, I'm not giving up. And you better know I'm gonna be right behind you waiting for the right moment to strike.
I deserve a higher rank than Plat.
I kind of touched on this before, but I believe that I deserve Diamond. I definitely don't think I deserve Masters or GM or anything beyond that without a coach, but I've gotten to Diamond before, so I feel like I'd be happy there.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar boat. Support right now, I am low diamond, and both damage and tank I have been high. I think I should be low diamond across the board, like no higher. I'm not trying to say like I'm a grandmaster player or anything, just like a little out of Plat. I'd be satisfied with.
So a question for Zero and Diva. You guys think that you deserve higher than Plat, but you're currently in Plat. So why do you think that is?
I think it just goes back to the other question. I do think at least 50% of it is my teammates, not all of them, but it could be like 1 or 2 off people that just like ruin a game. Lately, I've had a bit of levers, so it's just annoying having a game wasted. And then the other half, it is me. Like, I will say I don't play perfect every single time. You know, I don't think I'm a master skilled player, so I definitely do have faults. But yeah, again, I feel like I just deserve at least 1 higher rank.
I honestly put some of the blame on the rank like somewhat reset from season 9 and the state of like how some of these roles play, especially tank. I feel like tank is like not fun no matter who you play, because like to keep continuing with tank, I think those have been my hardest games for the last 2 seasons. Like no matter how many times we've tried, me and my duo, it's just I can't get past like, what was it, Plat 3 I think was my highest.
As much as I want to gas myself up and say, oh, I deserve diamond, I will be realistic and say that I think Plat is kind of where I belong, which I'm so hard saying that because even like I said earlier, Plat's not real, which is very counteractive. But I think plat might just be where I am to stay because I'll like go up and then go down and then go up and then go down. And it's like, even right now I'm plat 5. So like I'm literally the bottom barrel of plat, but like then I'll go up and it's like, okay, what's happening? And then I go down again. So I just feel like maybe I'm just destined to be going back and forth. So that's why I decided to use my neutral. Because as much as I may dream of ever touching diamond, I don't know if I will. I'll definitely try my best, but I'm not sure yet.
I might want to add some little thing here. So basically, one of the reasons I'm here is like the kind of rank reset thing that was on season 9 kind of messed me up, but also in terms of balance, because like I used to be diamond 3, but then all the rank reset stuff came on. But also my character completely changed the way it works. And as a one trick, as someone who only plays Junkrat, like I had to adapt. So there was a time where I was literally hard stuck plat 5 because I was trying to find out the playstyle, figure out all the new combos, figure out all the new breakpoints. And now that I started figuring it out, I've been able to climb again. So it's really something I am not sure on, since I'm not sure if I belong or not, and it's just something that I'll eventually find out, eventually establish somewhere I'll keep climbing or not. My tendency has been climbing up, but we will see how that goes. But for now, I am on neutral. It's just, I don't know where I am right now. I just know that I keep improving, I keep trying, and I keep having fun on the journey, which is what matters, and I'm enjoying it.
The only reason why I am not in disagree is because I am Diamond 5 in tank, and that is because I played about 3 seasons entirely of tank, and I climbed from, like, I think gold to diamond. So, like, I can get to diamond, and I can get a higher rank, but I just gotta work for it. And I know that if I played seasons consecutively of just DPS or just support, I can get to diamond, but I just gotta work for it. It's not that right now because right now I do deserve platinum, but I can get to a higher rank if I really work for it and try my best.
Signing up for this, I felt like such an imposter because I've only been plat for like a few seasons now, and I'm plat 5. I've been plat 4 for like a little bit. I feel like I deserve to be in plat. If not, then like high gold. It's just been so weird.
As someone who has been in diamond before, I don't know entirely the reason how I got back down to platinum, but me not knowing the reason is why I am in platinum. And so I believe once you figure out why you're in the rank, then you can go up. I still don't know that reason, so that's why I'm here in platinum.
Is there anybody that would like to swap their stance after hearing other people speak? All right, Widow, you went from neutral to somewhat disagree. Why?
I might have not fully understood the question, but I do still agree with most stuff I said. But I also do agree with JTick and Freshness because I even like I was saying, I'll go up and then I'll go down for ranks. But like JTick was saying, like once you understand why, then you can like work to start climbing. I don't think I've figured out why yet, so I will say I will move over to the slightly disagree. But yeah, I do agree with JTick and Freshness, so I will move a little bit because I do kind of agree with what I'm saying, but I do agree with what they're saying, so I'm just gonna stay in the middle of both.
I am in plat. I am the ultimate plat player now. I managed to play support all the way to plat, which is my least played role, and we can argue that flex support is like DPS but on steroids. I know how to get to plat. I don't know how to go beyond that, and I truly believe hitting diamond and being a diamond player is two different things. I need to find a way how to get there. I don't know how to get to diamond and stay there, so I'm currently at plat. I know how to climb to plat, I don't know how to get out of it, so I have to find a way.
Meta should not exist in platinum.
Alright, I'm coming hard with this one. So I don't think meta should still lower ranks. Like, I'm gonna tell from my point of view because I'm a Junkrat player. I know Junkrat is in the best state right now. He's seen as niche in the best, in the most optimistic observations. He's seen as niche, and yet I'm with a 59% win rate this season. And I played 29 games, and there's only been 2 games when I haven't gone against Safara, which is supposedly one of the strongest heroes this season. If meta played itself, my win rate will likely be almost 0%, but that is not the case. And also, the supposed meta, at least from me, I like to watch pro play time to time, and it seems to be really like barred right now, and I don't see any hero playing itself. I don't see Cassidy playing itself, I don't see Malga playing itself, I don't see Winston or Sigma playing itself. You have to know what you're doing to do good things with the hero, and especially in these ranks, if you wanna win, it's better just stick with what you know how to use, because I think it's better that people just stay to their guns than not just swap the first death and then get humiliated by the person they swap for because they have no idea how to play the hero they swap to. I think meta is what you play, and that's the meta for you, and that's not gonna change unless you get to like really, really high ranks.
Originally, the reason I'm in neutral is because I didn't fully understand what the question was asking, but I definitely do think that metas do exist and are going to exist. Because, like in bronze, the most efficient way to play is be like Ryan or Orisa and just run down main. That's like the most optimal way to play. And also, I have seen so much Cass and Sigma and Mauga, it's getting like irritating. I want to see different things being played than just meta, but it's going to exist. It's just the best way to play and people want to win.
With metas, there's obviously going to be people trying to find the most optimal comps. That's how Overwatch is, and that's how it's been for many years. And you're just going to see the meta at the top of the ranks in GM, top of 100, like in some ways dropping down to lower ranks. I was calling it Sojourn Jail as a hit scan player because Sojourn was the best hit scan and I was playing it and I got good at it, and I managed to climb 2 ranks with that character. I went from gold 2 to like platinum 4 within a couple of matches and then pushed it all the way to like platinum 3 or 2. But there's also some goofy things that they do with the character changes. That I remember playing Torbjorn and having 70% win rate at the end of a season and being like plat 2 with that character. So meta exists. Probably, but I don't care. If there's a character that I think is strong or I think is good, or some people say it's good, I'll play it. I also play in teams, low platinum teams. We try to figure out what works for us and what kind of meta it is, and we just play what we want.
I think meta should exist because there have been other metas that plat players and people below plat have tried. Like, for example, goats was something that took over everyone. I mean, I haven't played in the lower ranks during that era, but I know it took over the pro scene, and it did take over plat as well, and that worked. The double shield meta, I know that was a meta that worked as well in plat. So I think it's definitely, a lot of metas can work, but I also do think that there are some metas that people see pro players do that definitely might not work in plat, but people just push it, and I don't think that's effective.
I actually think it is healthy for the lower ranks of any game to have a meta, and especially one that's different from like a higher like ranks. Because again, I'm thinking of, for whatever reason, is Super Smash Bros. You have the players who do the like Pikachu up throw into down special kind of stuff, and that's the easy basic stuff, and that's something that is oppressive to people who maybe don't know how to figure out how to not get grabbed and stuff like that. And so I think especially when the meta of lower ranks are more simpler stuff, it's healthier because it allows players to learn the mechanics of the game in a much more, cohesive, I guess, way than just whatever GOATS was.
I think if you view plat as like kind of the stepping stone between like metal rank, like gold and stuff, and like diamond, which is most people consider like higher rank, it's probably best that you start learning the metas, even if you're not like putting them to use while in your gameplay, because obviously a plat game plays very differently from like a grandmaster game. You should at least like learn and acknowledge that they exist. Maybe if it works out, try it out, but if not, obviously don't go throwing the game just because you saw like flats doing it on YouTube. But just like knowing of it is good for your skill level, I would say.
I would rather have 2 supports focused on healing than 2 focused on utility.
I'm in slightly agree, not fully agree, only because there are a couple supports like Zen with Discord and Lucio with Speed and Ana with Anti who have like really good utility, and that can be definitely beneficial for the game. But I also feel like if you're not getting healed, you're gonna die. And if you're dead, you can't do anything in the game. So I feel like all the value you can afford is null and void once you're dead. So I feel like being kept alive and getting healed may be first and then utility afterwards, but I will not say full agree because there is some very good beneficial utility that Blizzard has put in this game. But again, slightly agree because I feel like being healed first is more important, because if you're dead, you can't do anything at all.
With the heroes that I play, I'm fairly self-sufficient, but I'd much rather have some Kiriko papers or a Zen orb on me than like a Baptiste lamp or a Discord orb. I just don't really care about it that much.
I'm in slightly disagree, purely because of the specific combination of Lucio and Zenyatta being absolutely horrid, rancid to play, both as and with, because like there's no healing, so you just kill them instantly. Especially if you're playing as tank, it sucks. But Like, I honestly don't mind it since most of the supports in the game have enough healing to barely get you by together outside of the specific combination of Lucio and Zenyatta. And so I just don't think it's that too big of an issue. Now, I am a support player, and tank is my least played role, so I'm gonna say that I have probably some bias there.
I am totally opposite of Fresh. I believe the Ananade, Baptiste Lamp, Kiriko's Cleanse, Protection Suzu are impactful abilities in the game, and I want impact in my games. The healing has been designed to not overrun damage. There are instances where it does, plus the DPS passive has to be added to make it a little bit easier to kill. But I just want impact. Lucio is a unique character. Lucio benefits from team play, and I would say like Lucio will be an outsider for me to play. I don't like playing with Moiras. I don't like playing with Life Weavers. Not because these people are bad. It's just the character is annoying and just provides less of what I would like from an Ana or Bap.
Okay, so I do agree with what Eric said. Also, contrary to my name, I am a Mercy main. I have 700 hours on her, and I can confidently say that whenever I've been involved in a Mercy Moira duo, at the end of a game, when I lose, I always think, would I have lost this if I went Kiriko, or if I went Ana, or if I went someone with just more utility? Because healing's great, and you definitely do need healing, but there's only so much healing you can do. Like, healing just keeps your teammate alive. It doesn't actually help them do more, get more opportunities. Like, a Suzu literally saves your teammate from death. It does way more than healing. I'd rather have a Suzu than like 100 more heals.
Alrighty. Is there anybody that would like to change their stance after hearing other people speak? Okay, so everybody on the agree side of the spectrum moved on over to the disagree side of the spectrum. So at this rate, we have nobody that prefers healing supports over utility supports. So the people that moved, why? Let's hear it.
Okay, y'all are so hard to disagree with because you guys are so smart and making such great points. But I will say now, after hearing that, it does make a lot of sense, because if you're alive, sure, you get healed, you're alive, but what are you gonna do with that life, you know? I feel like lots of the utility, like Speed and Anti and Suzu, create opportunities. I feel like that's very important in this game. Opportunities which will help you win the current team fight. And because that's really what all the game is, a bunch of team fights. So I think utility is what really opens up those opportunities, and that's very important. And then especially with the new DPS passive, you can't even do as much heals as you could before. So I definitely feel like utility might be over heals now. I know I probably sound stupid, but after hearing out what y'all said, I will move over to slightly disagree, because you guys are right.
It's just solo care potential as well. I think the flex support just allows not only your teammates but yourself, if you play support, just to have more impact. Moira does not have impact as people may think it does. It's just a lot of people pick her up because they don't have mechanical skill. But if you do get mechanical skill and pick up Bap, Ana, you will see that you have more of the game in your control. And I can also feel that as a DPS, that you're doing making moves, you're making things impactful. You can truly feel it in your games. Just pick up the better support characters.
I know the difference between main supports and flex supports. All right, now I'm gonna quiz y'all. Lucy Goo, name one main support.
Life Weaver.
J-Tick?
Lucio.
Payme Waffles?
Brigida.
Eclipse?
Mercy.
Eric, name a flex support.
A flex, Ana.
Farah, name a flex support.
Iari.
Diva?
Is Bappa Flex?
Wow, I'm so proud of you guys. All right, Zero, you're the only person on the disagree side of the spectrum. So is what you just heard kind of like surprising to you?
No, I just didn't want to take the test.
All right.
I
Well,
didn't want
that's
to be put on the spot.
you
like
know
that,
what?
you know?
That's valid. I feel like that there's a lot of confusion within the community, and even with myself a lot of the times, where there's different terms that are used in different ways. Like there's ranked ladder terms versus organized like professional play terms versus like made up terms like main heals and off heals, and there's just so many different things. And I feel like as a community, it's like kind of gotten to a point where a lot of people are just kind of confused on like who's what and things like that. So I'm very pleasantly surprised though. Y'all know your shit. Look at you all. All right, let's go back to the middle. Support is the easiest role in the game. Alrighty, chat, We did it. Nobody in neutral, but somebody in every other stance. So we have 2 people that think, yes, support is the easiest in the game. We have 1 person that thinks somewhat. We have 2 people that think, not really. And then we have 3 people that are like, no, support is not the easiest role in the game.
So you said I'm a DPS player, which is true, but I have a lot of hours on support, and I'm actually usually higher rank on support, so I've done my time. I know my fact. I can say without a doubt that support ends up being a lot easier than definitely tank and usually DPS. I'm struggling for words here, but it's just a lot less difficult.
I might be coming a bit spicy with this one, but I think support is the easiest role of the game, but it's not that far as many people think. I think it's actually pretty close between all 3 roles, which one's the easier. The only reason I believe support is the easiest role in the game is because it's the easiest role to go by unnoticed when you're performing bad. Because as long as you have all the flashy healing stats, a lot of people don't notice when you're making a mistake. When as a DPS you are not getting enough kills or enough damage, they easily notice you're making mistakes. When the tank dies too quickly, they easily notice you're not making your work well. But as long as support has high healing numbers, a lot of people think that you're doing your thing right. A lot of people think you're doing your role right or you're playing well. And that has nothing to do. Depending on the support, being healing all the time is not the answer. And also there are a lot of characters in support that get a lot of free value. I heard a lot about Moira earlier, but there's a lot of cases when they have inherently too much value for just existing. Just for the fact they exist. That's the true reason I think it's the easy role of the game, not by too far, but I think it's the easiest role. That's kind of gonna clarify this, or at least say it better. Like, what I mostly mean is that it's really easy to like inflate your stats with support, but like you can be hard pocketing tank or just farming numbers with Moira, and they say, but look, I have the most healing in the game, how can I be doing bad? It's really easy to hide that you're not playing the best of your capabilities on support. Though I must say that when support is playing well, you notice it. But when a support is playing like this, like they're just hard pocketing the tank or they're just heal botting the whole game, it's pretty hard to notice. When if a DPS is just hard shooting the tank the whole game, you notice the goals aren't happening as much as they should. Or if a tank is just taking space and AFKing in the car or AFKing in the corner waiting for something to happen, you really easily notice that. But if we're just heal botting the whole game, that's a lot hard to notice. And also they always have their argument, but I have a lot of healing. But that always might be the best or the adequate play for the game. Maybe you have done a lot more if you had just shot the Pharah 5 HP that was right on top of you.
So support has so much utility that it's very difficult to kill them. Like I play a lot of Sombra and I will hunt down a Lifeweaver, hack, virus, shooting at them, and they just have so many ways to survive that it's really difficult to kill them. And it's not as bad as it was, but like BAP, Kiriko, Ana to an extent, Lifeweaver, Mercy, they all just have so many ways to survive, and it's really difficult to kill them sometimes.
My take is that when someone says easiest or broken, they are not referring to the whole role, they're referring to certain characters. Like, we can go by each support and we can say which one is broken, which one is not. That's not the point. The point is, with the characters that I picked in the support role, which were mostly the flex supports, I managed to climb to plat with the least amount of playtime, which kind of shows how powerful they are. And in some aspects, somebody who does not really understand the fundamentals of support was able to climb out of the lower ranks, like gold and silver, all the way to plat, without barely any understanding. Just kind of shows that some support players, like, I just simply got boosted. I don't think so. I'm a good support player, and yeah, I was able to rank up.
I slightly disagree because I feel like as a support, like, you know, you're getting dove in and you have to, like, if that's even a word, like, you know, dived, and you are also have to worry about keeping yourself alive and your positioning, as well as trying to also accommodate to your tank and DPS's positioning and keep them alive. So it's like you have you to worry about because you're your own player within the game and you're trying to make sure you're not getting killed and your positioning's okay and you're staying alive, but then your job is also to keep others alive. I feel like you might have, you know, just some more responsibility, inherently making it not the easiest role because you are worrying about yourself and 3 other people or 4 other people.
I do agree that support is the easiest, like, entry level when you're first playing the game. It's just the easiest thing to do. Oh, heal somebody, you know? But I feel like it really stops there. I really believe that DPS is the easiest because really all you have to do is know how to aim. I mean, for Junkrat, you don't really aim, but for all the other DPS, you really just have to know how to aim. Every role needs to know game sense. Every role needs awareness. Every role needs knowledge of the game. And other than that, for DPS, I believe it's really just aim.
I am tired of this question. Now, this is no hate to any people who asked this question, but I think this question is nothing but like an ego contest. There is very solid arguments for each role being the easiest or the hardest. Less on tank, but still, there's an argument somewhere. Someone can think of something. There's enough players. Infinite monkey theory, whatever it's called. It's reductive. We're not doing anything with this conversation. Oh, support's kind of easier. Oh, what do we gain? What do we gain from the knowledge of one role is easier than the other two? And I don't understand the point of why we continue to compare penis sizes of rank, which is the easiest. It doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Why do we do this? This is no hate to you, Crystal, no hate to anyone, but I just want to know, why on earth does it matter?
I think saying that support is the easiest is kind of negating any like effort and time that someone puts into learning the best they can for their character. You can kind of say that about any role. Every role has their strengths and weaknesses, their stereotypes. At the end of the day, it's all Overwatch. Personally, I would say that 26 is a tutorial character, while Tracer is the main person on the screen, you know. Saying that support is easily at the bottom of like skill level is kind of redundant.
After hearing everybody else speak, is there anybody that would like to change their stance? Lucy Goo, you went far away on a little adventure. So why? Why did you change? You went from agree, right?
Yes.
So agree to disagree. Huge change. Why?
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but JTech, I have to give it to you. You're absolutely insanely right. Like, there are good arguments for every role, and I like to talk about baseline value, but in the end of the day, I already thought that it was close, but after what Jake said, I have to say it. Like, I don't know, a lot of people misinterpret what I say, like saying that it's the easiest to saying that it's easy. I don't think any role is easy. I just thought it was more baseline value, so that's why I went there. But after hearing him, I was like, yep, I think he's right. I think no role is the easiest in the game. Every role has an argument going for and against it, but I think I will keep with that. Also, I want to add a little remark, especially after Season 9, Jungler does take a lot of aim, and I can tell you because I've been more than 100 hours playing this hero since that season, and I've been doing a lot of aim training that most times in my man.
Okay, I need to rant a little bit. Support players are so whiny. I was watching a TikTok about the recent patch notes, and about a third of the comments on that video were, no, Kiriko didn't need the nerfs. Yes, she did. She's been running this game since launch, and it's so irritating for people to be like, no, don't nerf them. Please just acknowledge the fact that your character is strong and that they need a nerf. It's not that big of a deal. Pharah's really strong right now. If she got a nerf, I would still play her. It's not a big deal. Please, for the love of God, be quiet. That's all I have to say.
So,
Could I comment on that?
yeah, I see a lot of people nodding their heads. So let me just ask, is there anybody that agrees with that general sentiment of support players are whiny and complain when it's not needed?
I do agree, but I would like to add something to Fresh's statement. Fresh, I'm going to ask you a question here. Were you saying that because support is a strong role that it is easy to like play?
Not necessarily. I mean, they have a lot of ways to get out of things, but also just like as a whole, like I can barely aim, but I'm still like plat, and I play a lot of Ana, and I also play a lot of Kiriko. And I like season 3, my other roles were like gold and silver, and then my support was plat 4. I'm not that good, but still my rank is just so much higher because they're not that difficult.
Yeah, I mean, what I was gonna say is that if saying that a character is easy because they're strong, that also adds the argument that a character is hard because they're weak. You know, would you say that, like, I mean, I don't think Mercy is a very mechanically challenging character, but right now she's not that strong. Would you say that she's a hard character to play? No, you know, she's not a very difficult character to play, but
she's difficult to get value out of.
Yeah, but that's not saying that she's hard to play. You know, like Doomfist is a character that is more difficult to get value out of, and he's hard to play. But you know, a character like Mercy, it's not the same thing.
Is there anybody else that agreed with that sentiment of support players are whiny?
I do agree with Fresh. As I main support as well, and I will say, myself included, are very whiny. And I'll even go to hold like the same sentiment as the TikTok he was referring to, talking about the Kiriko nerf and how everyone was like, "Oh no, don't do that." I think it was kind of necessary. Like I remember like, keeping track of ults and like knowing like a Ryan shatter was about to come. So just making sure like I wasn't in his line of sight, and then being able to make everyone get back up as soon as they get shattered. I'm just like, this feels so crazy. Like I feel like I'm cheating. Like what am I doing right now with this Suzu? And I think having the nerf, I think it's gonna be beneficial and healthy for the game. And even as a Kiriko main specifically, I'm okay with it. Like I'm not mad. I think it was needed.
Right now, to my knowledge, the Lifeweaver flower is able to pull the team from a Zarya ult into the sky and into safety. What do you feel about that? Because they mentioned that Kiriko can now not block the Rhine shatter. So do you think that Lifeweaver should also not be able to save the team from the Zarya?
Yes. Sorry. As a Zarya player, yes. That I'm sorry, I never chime in, but that dude, I'm so sick of Lifeweavers gripping my grabs, pedaling my grabs, I'm treeing my grabs. I get sorry. Anyways, continue.
No, you're fine. But yes, Diva, thank you for offering me the question. I do honestly agree with Crystal. I actually, and that's what I was saying. Like, funnily enough, that you even mentioned that, because I just witnessed that like in a game I had just played where Zarya grabbed and Lifeweaver, everyone got out the grab. I was like, that is so crazy. Like again, I almost feel like he's cheating. Like Zarya waited that whole time to build up her ult, worked so hard, has the ult, gets to use it, and boom, it's like it never happened. And like maybe you contribute that to like smart counterplay, like sure, but I almost feel like there's a point where like counterplay is like too counterplay, and it's almost like you don't want to play anymore because like everything, all the work you just put in was just nullified. So I do kind of think that Lifeweaver pedal should not counter Zarya grab in that way as well, and I agree with Crystal.
He has grip already. What's the point of the pedal being able to lift a 5-person grab? Like you can grip one person, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm saying you can't be grippy and do that.
As the token Lifeweaver main here, I would like to actually chime in on this. Here's what I do get why that would be annoying, and you know what? I may discredit every single thing I have to ever say ever again, but why not wait it out? Granted, that's not a fun strategy, so I will say that. That's not a fun thing to just wait out a Lifeweaver pedal. Or place it on a area to where that cannot be pedaled, where you can still suck people in, but the Lifeweaver can't save them. That's why I think Lifeweaver should be able to do it, because unlike Kiriko blocking a shatter, she can do that no matter where the Reinhardt does anything. At least with the Zarya and Lifeweaver interaction, Zarya has a chance to prevent the Lifeweaver from being able to save everyone. Now the grip, yeah, I think that's kind of stupid, but the pedal, I think that's fine, since there is actual counterplay in where you place the grab when it comes to the pedal.
Am I allowed to chime in on my own overthink? Can I disagree?
Do it.
You can't always strategically put a grab somewhere where like they're not going to be able to pedal, because your grab is centered around where the enemy is, not the other way around, right? So it's like they're not always going to play somewhere where you can negate a pedal by playing like under like an obscurely small little doorway or by a wall or whatever. A lot of the times people will just play out in the open, and sometimes that's the only time that you can grab. And also, if you're waiting for that opportunity for people to like be in a perfect position, that's also giving them time to have their cooldowns come back as well. And a lot of the time it's like, as a Zarya player, I look for, okay, have they used Immortality? Have they used Suzu? Have they used whatever? And so it's like, if you're waiting for them to line up perfectly and also coincidentally have used all the cooldowns that I'm trying to track, that's a lot to ask for when you could literally just make it so that the flower cooldown doesn't negate my entire grab, all right? Anyways.
I'm still firm on just place it, try to at least counter it, but yeah, I see exactly what you're saying, and I do agree to an extent.
Can I add a little to the counterplay situation? Because everyone's saying, you're saying like solo the live world, things like that. I wanna say, a lot of Mercies take personal that we go with our tire against them. But what do you want us to do with how Tyre is right now? Like, Tyre has less range, has the exact same health, gets hit easier, and the Mercy can just go boom and whatever we Tyre. What do you think is the best idea for us? If we know you're gonna deny our whole body just because you exist, we're gonna go after you. Like, it's not rocket science, and everyone takes it so personal. We hate you. We don't hate Mercy. Like, everyone just keeps telling us we hate Mercy. We don't. And I just want to say that. I just want to it's clear because it's a big misunderstanding, and I want people to know about it at least.
Overthink contestants. We like to close out all the videos by y'all looking at the camera, alting the camera, and saying subscribe to ChristalRaine. Yippee! All right, let's get it. 3, 2, 1, go!
Subscribe to
Who's the one to that one to that three? I play easy mode and I play to win. I love to die and I like to BRB. All systems checked out. Group up with me. 2 to the 1 to that 1 to that 3. I'm here to party. GG. A giant gorilla can keep up with me. You can't